Dear everyone, this is the only Photoshop 2021 video course. In this lesson, we are going to give a course about tools. Today, we will talk about the first tool on the toolbar, Mobile Tool. Left click to select it. The Mobile Tool is used to move layers. Then, what's the layer? The layer is here. Let's look at the layer window. There are some layers in the picture. Let's select the first layer. Then, move it. Look, it is the red small box. Now look at the second layer. So it's a little blue box. The third one is the little green. What about the fourth one? The white background. In other words, each layer is a part of the image. So about the layer, we would like to briefly introduce 2 points to you. The order of the upper and lower layers. It has a relationship between the upper and lower layer. For instance, now we select the top layer blue one. Next, move it to the blue and green layers below, yet it will block the layer below, for there exists relationship between the upper and lower layers. If we want to change the relationship between the upper and lower layers of this layer, just hold down the left mouse button and drag it. Just do like this. Drag the blue layer to the bottom. And now the top layer is the red one. Drag it first and the layer will be blocked by the blue and green layers. So the second thing need to be noticed is that there is a small logo like eyes in front of each layer. We just need to click on it to cancel the layer. When we click on the small eyes, the layer appeared again. So the layer is a displayed state. The first function of the Move tool is to move the layer. Select the Move tool and then select a corresponding layer, and then we can move the layer. Well, let's talk about the second role of the Mobile tool, Align Layers, when we select multiple layers. For example, if we select the first layer, then press and hold the Control key to select the second and third one, selecting all the 3 boxes. Look, these icons appear on the option bar. You can see that they correspond to different alignments, such as the first one. Look at the shape of this figure. Makes sense that it's left aligned. Look, click it, then all align to the left. The second function is to align the center. Let's return to initial state first. Ctrl+Z. It's called center alignment. Click on it, and they will align according to the middle, which as a standard of this layer. Okay, let's go back to the last step. The third function is to align right, so that we can align with the right side of the layer as the boundary. Let's go back to the last step. And again, it means that the distance between the 3 layers is now equal. They have equal spacing, so the fourth is the top alignment. Look at the vertical center alignment, and we will follow each layer of their horizontal direction. The horizontal axis has been aligned. Look at this. Bottom alignment. Their lateral spacing is now equal. This is the last horizontal distribution to operate on them. You can imagine what kind of alignment operation the icons correspond to, which is very simple, but it's very practical. The third function of Mobile tool, automatic selection. The first column of the option bar is what we call automatic selection, and we can click to tick it, and then we don't have to choose it in the layer window. We just need to operate on the image. Look at that layer, for example. Click red and then it will automatically select red. Click on blue and then you can automatically select blue. This allows us to quickly select and move layers and find layers in complex environments. The position in the layer window is very important. For example, we now click the blue one. In the layer window, the red color is automatically selected, so that we know the red layer corresponds to the second layer. We will use a draft picture to show how to use Mobile tools in practical work. Let's take a look at this picture. Now, the picture has text and material pictures. Take a look at its layer window. There are many layers. Let's enlarge the layer window and drag it over the boundary. There are some words and image materials in the picture. Let's mix up these materials first. Okay, this place has been disrupted by us. We use mobile tools now. Press and hold the Control key to select these text layers and click Align Left or try to center them. But we also found that there was no vertical alignment between the words. At this time, we click this icon. Now, the vertical text is also proportional. Let's try right alignment to move the position. The text is aligned. Let's take a look at the image material. Similarly, press and hold the Control key to select the material layer and click Align Left. We find that these flowers also follow. We don't need to align the flower with the flower. So, we first deselect the flower layer and then select the left 5 material layers. Click Align Center or click Align Vertical. Okay, now you can see that the icon is aligned. Let's try to operate on other icons again. It's better to center them and make some adjustments. Okay, our icon is aligned. After selecting the Move tool, there is a button called Show Transform Control in the options bar. We checked it. Then we select a layer. It will display such a transformation control. This transformation space can change the shape and size of this layer. For example, we can now drag the border to zoom in or out. The default is equal, scale and size. The zoom in and zoom out ratio remains unchanged. At this time, we just need to press and hold the Shift key on the keyboard to change its shape freely. After changed, just press the Confirm. Okay, let's choose another one, and the same situation will appear. This is a transformation control. In fact, this is a simple free transformation. We can talk about the free transformation function in Photoshop by the way. Let's change another material. Here is an extracted book. Let's select this layer and then edit. Click here to transform. Let's first look at the following rotation of 180 degrees. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise and 90 degrees counterclockwise. This horizontal flip and vertical flip. You would be able to know the meaning through the Chinese vocabulary. Let's first point, such as rotate 180 degrees. The picture is rotated 180 degrees. Let's look at the picture below. Horizontal flip, which means to flip symmetrically, and there is also up and down flip. I won't take example anymore. This is very simple meaning. You just need to know where it is. Change it under the editor. Okay, let's look at the above things. Scale, rotate, bevel, twist, and perspective. We use the shortcut key to select a layer, then Ctrl+T, OK, which is very practical. Then a border box appears in the corner, next to the small box. This is a transform control. First of all, the transformation space is the same as just now. It is equal scale by default. If you press and hold the Shift key, you can scale freely. This is the first scaling step. If you have adjusted it, press and hold the Enter key and confirm that we can now press and hold Ctrl+T again. Additionally, look at the first scale above, which is what we just said about scaling, and we won't talk about it again. The second one, rotation. And then you can see the mouse drag outside to show a curved little arrow on both sides. This is the freedom to change its angle. No matter how many degrees, it can rotate its angle freely. And then we will see the second term is called slash. What does the third slash mean? You try it. And then click and hold one corner of it. Let's look at it. If we hold one corner, then we can simultaneously hold corner to change the two sides of this corner connection. For example, look. The left and right and the lower sides can be pulled out or pushed inward and move elsewhere. It's a slash, and it's the point on the edge. Hold the point on the edge and then you can shake it around. Control two other edges that are not connected to him to make such a slash. Okay, let's Control plus Z. And we look at the next one. Except for slashing and twisting, if we hold a corner, there will be one such slash on all four sides. Change it. If we hold this side down, we can stretch it freely. But the alignment and symmetry of the whole and the horizontal relationships will not change. Okay, that's distorting. Look at the next thing called perspective. Perspective is easier to be understood. It has a perspective effect. Look, it's like a wall now. There is a three-dimensional transmission effect, so that you can do it and make this trapezoid deformation. And the last one is called deformation. Do like this. Drag it by holding down a point in the picture. It's like melting this picture. Drag it like this. This is deformation. There remain two kinds of deformation. One is the control deformation on the border. The other is called perspective deformation. The control deformation is relatively simple. Now click to select the control deformation. And then we find that this layer will become a mesh, and we can use the left mouse button to unsure it. Hit an unsure to that it is fixed, and you don't move it. If we drag a certain unsure, we can't move it. It can be deformed. If it is deformed to the shape we want, click Confirm. Okay, that's how we manipulate the deformation. And go back to the last step. We will look at another one, called it perspective deformation. We use another material. Perspective deformation is actually a kind of stereomorphism, and the situation, it involves usually two walls of a rectangular structure. What does it mean? Choose this one. After perspective deformation tool, you can draw two boxes for it. Draw a box first, then drag its corner, and one face of the rectangle in the figure. Well, with four corners aligned, and then draw a box. After that, you have to make it adjacent to the face you just had. After the other face is aligned with four corners, we press the Confirm key. Okay, we can change the box now. Let's adjust the angle. This box becomes a top-up angle. Here is a content recognition. Let's look at the content recognition zoom below the editing. So, what is content recognition scaling? That means it can automatically identify the body of our layer. For example, we can have the layer now, and its body is the box. So if we make this layer a little narrower, look, well, the whole layer is narrowed. There's almost no change about the size and shape of the box, right? It can automatically identify the body of the box and try not to affect the subjects when it is deformed. This is the content recognition scaling. Let's make sure that compared with Control, add T, and we do the normal scaling. Give it a little more narrower, and the box is narrowed in the same scale, which is the difference between normal scaling and content recognition scaling. Okay, in this lesson we've talked about 4 functions of mobile tools and added details about the various transformation operations for free transformation. So, We will introduce PS Mating tools to you in the next class. See you soon.